Hi everyone, myself Rahul studying from Sri Venkateswar College of Engineering. I am here to do the topic of ATC video assignment. The problem statement: convert the following NFA with epsilon non-moves to DFA without epsilon non-moves. Conversion of NFA to DFA. There are two methods. Method 1: conversion with epsilon non-moves. One way to convert an NFA to a DFA is by considering the epsilon non-moves. This method involves capturing the states that can be reached through epsilon naught transitions and combining them to form new states in the DFA. This process ensures that the DFA accounts for all possible states and transitions, including the epsilon non-moves present in the NFA. Method 2: conversion without epsilon non-moves. Alternatively, the conversion from NFA to DFA can be performed without considering the epsilon naught transitions present in the NFA. This method typically involves creating a transition table that includes all possible combinations of states in the NFA and identifying the transitions among these states. While this approach may be more straightforward, it may result in a larger DFA. Examples of converting NFA to DFA. Initial NFA: a visual representation of the initial NFA showcasing its states, transitions, and the presence of epsilon non-moves, if any. NFA to DFA with epsilon non-moves: an example illustrating the step-by-step conversion of an NFA to a DFA, including the specific handling the epsilon naught transitions in the process. NFA to DFA without epsilon non-moves: another example demonstrating the conversion of an NFA to a DFA without considering epsilon naught transitions, outlining the methodological creation of resulting deterministic automation. Method 1: conversion with epsilon non-moves. Complexity analysis: when converting an NFA to a DFA with the epsilon non-moves, it's essential to analyze the complexity of resulting DFA. The number of states and transitions in the DFA can significantly increase due to inclusion of epsilon naught transitions. Understanding the complexity is crucial for evaluating the efficiency of the conversion process. State combination: during the conversion, identification and combining states that can be reached through epsilon naught transitions plays a key role. This process involves creating a new states in the DFA that capture the combined behavior of the original NFA states, accounting for the non-deterministic nature of the transitions. Determining determinism enforcement: one of the primary objectives is to enforce determinism in the resulting DFA. This involves ensuring that each state in the DFA has a unique transaction for every symbol in the input alphabet. Addressing non-determinism is the NFA is a critical aspect of this conversation method. Conversion from NFA with epsilon naught moves to DFA. Step 1: initialize. Create an empty set for the start alpha state of the DFA which corresponds to the epsilon naught closure of the start state of the NFA. This set becomes the start state of the DFA. Step 2: process states. For each set of states in the DFA that hasn't been processed. For each input symbol in the alphabet, compute the epsilon naught closure of the set of states obtained by taking the union of the epsilon naught closure of all the states in the current set for the given input symbol. If the computed set is not already a state in the DFA, add it to the set of unprocessed states. Step 3: mark accepting states. The states in the DFA that contain at least one accepting state from the NFA are accepting states in the DFA. Let's discuss how to solve the problems. Let's construct the state space table for this epsilon naught NFA, and hence the transition table undergoes state A, B, C, and epsilon naught. For Q of A is Q, and A of B is pi, and C is pi, and epsilon naught R. And for the state R, R of A is pi, and R of B is R, and R of C is phi and epsilon naught s. And the state for star s of A is phi and B phi C s and epsilon naught phi. The epsilon naught closure for the given diagram. The epsilon naught closure Q equal to Q, R, S. Epsilon naught closure of R equals to R, S, and epsilon naught closure of S equal to S. Look at the problems which are solved by using these transition tables. Hence, the state space diagram after the epsilon naught closure of all the states. From the state QRS of A is QRS and state QRS of B is RS and state QRS of C is S. State star R, S is of A is phi and B is R of S, and for the star R of S C is S. From the state star S of A is phi and B phi C is S. Hence that final DFA undergoes like this. Thank you.